Hi, everyone. It's Mrs. Byerly, and I want to talk about a new enrichment idea that I thought would be really cool. It goes along with what we've been talking about with plotting points, but also with today's topic of, COVID-19. Now, one thing I want to make sure of is that you understand that. Can I go to the next slide? Um, I want to make sure you understand what your own mental and emotional state is on COVID-19 before you do that. If you are a person who's like scared, like you're very nervous about the situation that we have going on, you have maybe high anxiety in general, maybe you've cried about the situation, um, maybe this hits home too much. And whether you have a somebody that you know that's working in hospitals and they're hearing stories. Um, if your parents, I want you to be very open with your parents about this as well. If they don't feel like you're ready for this, I don't want you to necessarily do this particular activity I'm going to ask students to do if they feel like you're not ready. But if you are okay with the facts, and you've been okay with talking about COVID-19, you haven't been too scared or nervous. Maybe you're a little scared. I'm kind of scared and nervous too, but I can understand it and I'm dealing with it and I'm trying to be very safe. Um, but maybe your parents say, yeah, you are ready for this life example, then maybe this enrichment activity is for you. Okay, so just understand that this isn't meant for everyone. And I really want you to be talking to your parents about this particular activity that I'm going to be asking. And again, this is completely optional in general. You don't necessarily have to do it, but if you're into data and you're into this kind of thing, then I think that it would be a really cool thing for you to do. So let's talk about it. So first off, in class, we have talked about how to plot points. And right before here, we left, I gave you guys a table and understand if like this is your X value and your Y value. So this would be a coordinate point of 0, 2. And what you would do is you would start at your origin of 0, 0. You would go over 0 on the x-axis, meaning you're not going anywhere. And then you would go up 2, and that's why you see that blue dot right there at 0, 2. So we know how to plot points. So if we take that one step further into today, you probably have seen this a lot on the television of the bell curve or something very similar to this model. And if you've heard of the phrase out there right now, it's flattening the curve. And this is part of the reason why all of us are being safe and we're at home right now is because we don't want to overwhelm our hospitals and our working staff, our nurses, our doctors with so many patients. And this is the reason why we're at home. But so if you look at this red one, this right here is um, it is with just staying going to school, going out in public, and spreading this virus around. And that's what we don't want to see happen. We don't want to see this gigantic peak um, formation. What we want to see is what's in green, and that's what we're hoping. That's why everyone's at home and we're not working, is we want to flatten that curve out a little bit so we don't, again, overwhelm our doctors and our nurses with so many people in there. So, but anyways, this is what we're looking for. We want this green bell curve. Okay, so right now when we're looking at this green bell curve, we're probably on the incline of this. We're not done climbing. We're still getting more cases coming in every single day. And one thing I want you, where you're going to find your information of this is, and I'm going to have to get out of this really quick so I can show you, is a website called John Hopkins. And if you type in coronavirus.jhu, which means John Hopkins University.edu/map, and I'll have it on my Google Slides for you that I'll post. It's learning. But when you guys go to this, you will see, and I'll just go really quick, refresh it for you. this right here, keep going, load, is going to pop up for you. And this is all over the globe, okay? If you look right now, we are at the very top over in the left-hand corner, and it says US. US, it says 159,184 cases are confirmed today. And so if I click on it, it takes us right to North America. The next thing you do, if you click down and right at the bottom of this, it says administration. I think that's where if you click over, this will go through state by state of the United States. And if you are looking at this, and this actually changed just a second ago, we were in, when I looked at this earlier today, we were the fourth state confirmed. Now we've moved up to the third state in the United States. And there's 6,498 cases confirmed right now in the state of Michigan. This is like constantly updating minute by minute. And if you actually, you can zoom in on this. You can keep zooming on Michigan, and we can even get more technical here. If you click over, and I clicked over in this area, this box, and you can see it says Berrien County, and that's our county, and there's 32 cases currently going on in our county right now. So taking this data, what I would like you guys to do is I want you to make a coordinate point of your own. So we're going to make our own bell curve. So if again, this is what we want. And if you go to your Google Sheets is what it's called. So I'm going to just show you how to get there. If you go to your Drive, and then if I go up to the waffle, the Google app, you can see that it's right here. It's Google Sheets right there for you. So I've already created one, but that's where you would go. And this is what I would kind of have a hope of for you is your days are going to be like your X value on this bell curve. So when I go back to this bell curve really quick, these are the days going out. So like maybe today we're going to make it as day one because you're just starting to plot these points. So like today would be day one, and we're going to see this continue to rise. And so every day, if you skip a day here and there, it's fine as well. But the more data points you have, the better it will be. And if you go on the right or on the left-hand side, this will be your y-axis, and these are all the number of cases. So if I go back to my sheets, today was day one, and that's why I put the date in here of March 30th. I plotted the point of how many cases are confirmed right now in the United States, how many are confirmed in Michigan, and how many are confirmed in Berrien County. So I'm going to make kind of like a few different bell curves to see what they look like. Now, you don't have to do this. Again, if you want to just strictly stay to just the United States, or maybe you just want to plot Michigan's or our county, either anything like that is fine with me. I'm going to probably have 3 in there. So like in this particular bell curve, there's 2 different bell curves happening. And I'm obviously going to be making 3 based on what I have going on. When you talk about confirmed cases, I wanted to make sure you understand this too. This is based on not the people that, there are people that have recovered from COVID. So we're just talking about confirmed cases right now. We're not talking about the people who have maybe passed on and or have are done having COVID, like they got over the virus and they're healthy again. We're talking about like right now. And so when we know that it's going down on the backslide is when all these numbers start decreasing. So once we see a constant number decreasing, this is when we know that we're kind of coming out of the COVID-19 cases. Hopefully, we'll be back to school at some point. Probably, I don't know. I'm guessing probably not to the fall, but this is just my thinking. But either way, this is kind of just to show you that, we do use bell curves. And this is how they work. It's based on data that we collect for certain things. And so this is kind of like a really good opportunity for us, also in a very scary situation, this very serious situation. But, we're being smart about it by staying home. We're washing our hands, we're cleaning, we're trying not to come in contact with anyone who's came in contact with the virus. So, you know, you guys are doing your part, your parents are doing their part, and hopefully we'll see this decrease in this number sooner than later. But this is how you're going to do it. Now, there is some really good options available for you to turn these into a chart. So down the road, you're going to make these and turn it into an actual bell curve using a chart. And if you look over here, it says insert chart. There's a way to do this, and this is a really good website. I just kind of Googled it and found it on YouTube, and I will put this, I've already put it into my, where am I at? My bell curve thing for you, my presentation. And so right here, I have it in there. And again, like I said, I will put this into it's learning for you so you can see how to do that. You don't necessarily have to make the Google Sheet right now, but this is down the road once you collect a lot of data points that you'll be able to do this. So right now, I just kind of want you to gather those data points so that you have something really good to plot onto a graph later. And if you don't want to use Google Sheets, you're more than welcome to just plot these on graph paper or a poster or anything you want down the road. But it would be kind of interesting, to say the least. Getting an idea of a real life situation. You know, I hear all the time, like, when will I ever use this again? And right here is understanding how to plot points from math, but also understanding the bell curve and how it works and what it looks like. So, you know, scientists all the time use this information to, you know, trends and different things around the world. So this right here is a really good way, an eye opener for you to kind of keep an eye on COVID at home. So, but again, this is all based on how you feel about COVID. Are you okay with this? You're talking to your parents, and don't do it if it makes you upset. Okay. All right. Good luck. Have fun.